It's an adaptation of the most boring board game of all time. What could go wrong? This is Battleship on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello, and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me, as always, are Sam and Jackie. Sam, hello.
B4.
B4.
Yes.
Oh,
Hit!
this is not a hit. This is a big miss.
This is a sunk movie.
Jackie, how are you feeling today?
Yeah,
That's
pretty good.
That's about all you got. Okay. Well, I want to say that we have a very special return guest. If you are familiar with his work before, his name is Joe Fulgham from many, many various different avenues of podcasting and internet work. Probably most notably famous for our American Ninja episode. I think that's Joe's most widely known work of all time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I heard he really got it. Like, fan mail, women throwing underwears at him, the whole thing.
We should probably say hi to Joe. Hi, Joe!
Hi.
Hi. How's it going, Stinker Madness? Hey, Sam, Jackie, Justin.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
It
Hear
is-
you again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome to have you back, Joe.
Good to be back.
Yeah. If you haven't, if you're not familiar with Joe, definitely go back and listen to our American Ninja episode. It's by far one of our funniest. Also, Joe, you were for 6 years on a podcast called the Caustic Soda Show podcast. And
Caustic Soda, yeah.
Caustic Soda, one of my favorite podcasts of all time. Still available. All the episodes are still up on archive.org, right?
Yeah. I actually still have the website running. There's even a BitTorrent that you can get to just download everything. If you would just want to download everything directly from BitTorrent, and that includes like all our ringtones and all our extra stuff. It's all in one big package. So I really want to make sure it's still up there. I'm super proud of this package that we've created, this 6 years of content.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere.
Of original quality content, and by far one of the most educational podcasts I've ever listened to. So
So what are you doing now, Joe?
So unlike my co-hosts, I kept podcasting because I super enjoy doing it, and I really like the looking stuff up part of it. And I went back to one of my earliest internet loves, which was Neil Gaiman's comic book series, The Sandman. As we talked about in the last episode that I was in American Ninja, what I mostly do for a living is I'm a web designer. And one of the first web pages I made when I was learning how to do web pages was about The Sandman and Neil Gaiman as a writer. I just kind of made this kind of Neil Gaiman news website just to teach myself HTML. And so I've been like a fan from the beginning. I know like all of the behind the scenes stuff and all of the references because of these works called the Sandman Annotations. So I'm doing a podcast now called The Dreaming, the Sandman Read Along podcast, where I go through issue by issue every single panel of the Sandman comic book series. And my partner, Sasha Smolders, is with me, and they have never read the comic book series despite being a Neil Gaiman fan.
Really?
So they read it right before we record for the first time, 2 times normally, just so that, they get a good glimpse of it. And then just really fresh, we start talking about it. And I've got all the research, and they have just read it for the first time. So we have that really cool new person with all of the lots of information conversation. And I feel like that's something that Caustic Soda figured out, and I wanted to do that with this. That, having a conversation between people one person who knows and somebody who doesn't is a great way for the people listening to start to learn things.
Now, are your co-hosts, are they at least familiar at all with the Greek mythology behind what's going on with the Sandman?
No, not really. Sash is not all that much into the mythology. What's really cool is Sash is very well versed in like modern feminist theory, and Neil's a very feminist writer. And so Sash is finding all of these like amazing insights that I was missing because while I identify as a feminist, I'm a straight cis white guy who, has only recently kind of become kind of woke about that, whereas Sasha really knows way more about it. And so I get to be taught things at the same time while we're having this podcast conversation go on. It's
Of
really
something
great.
that you've been in love with for 20 years.
Yeah.
You're now still learning things about it. That's good stuff.
Do you have a van with the Sandman on the side of it?
I don't.
Damn it.
Wow. But now I'm going to have to put that on my bucket list, a van with a big airbrush Sandman mural on the side.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jackie's never read The Sandman. I've read every bit of it that I could get my hands on, which is fairly limited. It's based off of going to the library and see what they have. Sam, have you ever read any Sandman?
I never read the only game, and I read American Gods about 12 years ago.
And Jackie,
actually, right when it came out, I think.
Jackie and I just finished the Stars season 1 of American Gods. Joe, have you delved into that yet?
So we really wanted to do a podcast on that, but I also need to like make money to pay my rent. So I said, listen, if we make enough money on it, we're supported on Patreon, patreon.com/thedreaminghigh. And I said, if we make enough money that, I can start to put my time into creating these podcasts, then we will do one on American Gods. And we didn't reach the goal that we had to, and I had to, just not put that time in.
Yeah.
But we have watched it. Oh, I can't tell you how much I love that series.
Good.
It was so good.
Yeah, it's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah.
Jackie, you liked it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, she ate it up. And then you've got another show also going. Why don't you tell us about Onlightened?
So Onlightened is my new podcast. There's only one episode right now. It's coming out slowly because what I'm doing is trying to feel out what I want to do. So I've been working on The Dreaming, which we've been doing it for over a year now. We're at episode 51. I think we're at a year. But it's been focused on this comic book. And while that's happened, the world has kind of gone wild around us.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's going on. And it seems to me that a major problem of that is that a lot of people don't seem to care what the truth is about things or know how to find the truth or figure out how to rationally find their way to the truth, even when it's difficult. And I wanted to do a podcast about that, and I was like also riffing on Twitter about people who don't look things up. And I made the word Onlightened, meaning enlightened online, by like using the internet to connect to the sum total of human knowledge and actually try to figure things out. And I realized that's what I needed to do. So my podcast is called Onlightened, and it's going to be about that. The first episode we had was I had Dr. Rob, who I've talked about many times on, I think, American Ninja as the Canadian Buckaroo Banzai. I had him on. We talked about PTSD and traumatic brain injury. And some really cool stuff that was coming up about that and talking about how that affects people and how you might even be near people who are affected by that. And that would explain the way that they act, things like that. I think my next episode's going to be on the Flat Earth Society, actually.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
I think that's where we're going to go because I want to start, the concept I've got is going to be to start at, okay, well, we don't know what the Earth is shaped like. So how do we find that out? And then work towards the answer that we're supposed to get, right? Like not try to work towards it, but just see where we go by actually analyzing the evidence, but we're going to do it right. And I think that's going to put the lie to everything the Flat Earth Society says. I'm pretty confident about that.
Yeah, I think you're going to win that one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty easy fight to win, but it should be a lot of fun to get there. And like, I think it's going to be the process of going, well, how do we know, right? I know that most of us trust the vast majority of scientists, and we've seen the images and things like that. But like, how do we know for sure? That's what Onlightened is going to be about. How do we know for sure?
Now, I listened to the first episode, well, the 0 episode of Onlightened and episode 1. And what I really noticed about it is that there is, and I don't want to keep harping on your previous experience with Caustic Soda, but there is a Caustic Soda tone to it. There's really in-depth research and an extensive wealth of knowledge being presented, but it's presented in a fun, comedic and goofy manner that
Right.
has that charm that that people latched onto Caustic Soda so much for. So I can't say enough. If you're a fan of Caustic Soda, you're gonna want to listen to Onlightened because it's the same quality material that's being delivered.
Oh, thank you. I really hate pretension. I hate, especially for myself. I don't ever want to put on an air. I'm a pretty relaxed, casual guy. I make jokes all the time, and that's the way I want to talk, even when I'm trying to teach people things that I've learned. So I'm really glad that's coming across.
Now, where can we find both of these podcasts, Joe?
The Dreaming you can find, of course, they're all on iTunes. They're also on Google Play Music, so you can find them there if that's what you'd like. The Dreaming is at thedreaming.moteofdust.com. And Onlightened, I actually managed to snag onlightened.com.
Nice.
Onlightened, when I just kind of jokingly made that word up, I was like, there's no way that word is available on the internet everywhere. And I have Onlightened for Twitter. I have the Onlightened URL for Facebook. I have onlightened.com. It was just there. It was, what a find. I love it.
Yeah.
So happy.
Yeah, good work on that. Now, unfortunately, we have some nasty business to get to.
The dirty business of Battleship. It's dirty business.
Well, it does open him up with a burrito, so
Yeah, that eventually
you
becomes
know it's
dirty.
going to wreck a bathroom.
Now, Joe, this is your first tour of duty with the Battleship, is that correct?
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. I had somehow not managed to check out this gem.
Were you aware of it, or did you just, because I think our problem is that we saw the previews and we were like, oh my God, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And then
Right.
2 years later, we're like, holy shit, this movie.
This is crap. This is real crap.
My dad watched it right away,
Oh, he went to the theater for it?
Yeah.
No, my good.
and he couldn't say, he couldn't stop talking about how awesome it was.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't have very good taste in movies.
Or board games.
I mean, I don't really blame anybody who does like this movie, because I feel like there is an audience for this movie that it was made for who would very much like it, right? And we all have totally legitimate complaints, and it's overall a bad movie. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of people who would enjoy it. It's not me, though.
No.
No.
No, it's not me.
And there are certain things that you can actually praise the filmmakers for.
Yeah.
Well, other things you can trash them for, but using real veterans and honoring them and all of that. I mean, that's that's good stuff. But
I loved it, and I could see how people who are very patriotic and who really feel for those veterans would be like, "Oh wow, that they did that makes this movie great, and I don't care about anything else in it." And that they're not wrong. That's your opinion. You're allowed to have that opinion and love this movie because of that. And if you love it for that, it's great. But I didn't.
And one thing I noticed that ties in with that is because this is my third time I've seen this movie.
yeah,
Is that there is only one character, or actually there's two characters that have actual characters in this film. There's Brooklyn Decker's character, who is a nurse essentially, and then there's the science group of guys, but everybody else besides them is military. Every single other character is. And the only movie that I can think that has more military characters in it is Courage Under Fire, which is 100% everybody's military in it. So it's a very military film. And you can take that as a good thing or a bad thing. It's just an observation from my side of things, is that, everybody in this movie is part of the damn Navy.
I think that they were, when in the process of making it, they actually co-opted with the Navy. It's going to be, Hasbro's going to sell some board games. We're going to bring the Navy in. It's going to be like a Navy commercial. Because they get every uniform that the Navy has involved in this.
Right.
And it's Navy cheerleading constantly. So, I mean, at one point, the actual Navy was probably on board until they saw the rough cut. And were
Boy.
We gave you the money. You can keep it, but we're out.
Yeah. Don't put our logo up at the end and say, find your nearest recruitment center.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I was, in my previous life, married to a naval dude who was a complete dipshit. And,
Was his name Liam Neeson?
no.
Oh.
He was actually, so stupid that they made him peel potatoes. I wish I would have known that before I married him.
My great uncle served on a submarine in World War II, and my grandfather was a naval man as well, but he was a comms officer.
Well, since we're telling family stories about Navy officers, my
Probably nobody cares
grandfather
about.
was a rare instance of somebody that was in the Italian Navy and the American Navy during World War II. He fought for both sides.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he was tall, so he enlisted in the Navy at 14, and then at 16 he lied again and got on an American boat. And to this day, nobody actually knows how old my grandpa Vince actually was when he died. Nobody has any. He took the secret to his grave.
Or if you are actually related to him, because your grandma, she got around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's where we're going with
this. That's my joke right
Okay,
now.
yeah,
It's
not
not good.
Oh, boy.
Dissing on grandma.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, dude, shut up.
making fun of my dead grandmother.
Okay,
Who's an
Sam.
angel.
I'll let you make fun of yourself. You have done some research on Battleship.
Wait, but we didn't hear from Joe. Maybe he has a war story.
Do you have a war story, Joe?
Oh no, my dad was in the military, but he was a military policeman, which basically means that of military assholes, you're the really, really big asshole.
Right.
So
You're like the
I have no
internal
stories.
affairs, the internal affair guy in a cop movie. Like,
Yeah,
don't talk to that guy.
You're the jerk. Yeah, that's my dad. Yeah.
Nice.
So no, I don't have any good stories.
Hi, Joe's dad. Sammy, what have you got on Battleship?
Well, unfortunately, this thing cost over $200 million. There's no real soft. The figure's soft. It costs at least $220 million, maybe more than that.
So you mean the production budget was 200?
This is one of the most expensive pieces of crap.
That's a lot of money.
That's really and it could have been more than that. It only returned 60 domestically in theaters, and because Hasbro sells toys, for whatever reason, they decided to report the earnings on DVDs, which was DVD and home market, which was like 30 million. So they lost their butts on this.
Yeah, that's not going to make it.
And Universal ended up having to buy them out of the agreement because Hasbro was going to make a series of their adaptations from the board to the screen. For whatever reason, they thought Monopoly would be a good movie.
No! What?
Hungry Hippos!
I'm not joking. Hungry Hippos is one that they're sort of still holding on to the tightest.
What? No.
What about Operation?
I don't think that's Hasbro.
How do you make a movie on Monopoly, which I guess you could get that little mustache guy and he
Sure.
finds a shoe and takes a walk down Boardwalk. It's not going to be a good movie, but what's the plot of Hungry Hippos?
Actually, I would think that we're actually living Monopoly, the movie, playing out on our
wanna,
news channel.
No, let's not.
No, we're not going there?
No, I don't
okay.
want to. No.
Well, I guess we'll keep talking about Battleship then.
Yeah, let's talk about Hungry Hippos. They're fun.
Yeah, so and then
Which is also a reference to Donald Trump. If we're gonna go there,
if we're gonna,
Oh my
why
God.
not?
he's just an orange. He's the orange hippo on the board.
But
That one his head always comes off.
beyond the games that we're familiar with, they're trying to bring back some toys from the 70s and the 60s to bring into the movies, like Stretch Armstrong, which you shouldn't remember. Nobody should remember. And beyond that,
I saw one of those in the store this weekend.
Yeah, they're bringing back Stretch Armstrong and Action Man from 1966. And they want them to be in movies. After Universal bought themselves out of the deal because they realized they wanted nothing to do with this, currently, and I don't know if it's fallen through or not, but they did give Adam Sandler seed money to do the Candyland movie.
Oh my God.
And after they gave Adam Sandler the money for the Candyman movie, they bought a writer's room and brought in a bunch of writers to work all of them together in an expanded universe that will still involve Battleship if they think they should make a sequel 10 years later.
Candyland, Hungry Hippos, Stretch Armstrong, and Battleship all take place in the same universe,
Yes.
like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Exactly. They're like, well, these guys have an expanded universe, so we should get one of those with our board games.
No, why? Because they have it.
Because they have this $1 billion toy machine and they want to fuck it up somehow.
Oh, that
It's
is
the only way to fuck it up.
This is like in the 1970s when Star Wars came out in 77 and everybody went, oh, to make money, you just put spaceships in your movies. And
Right.
then we had a decade of crap sci-fi.
Yes.
I mean, there was good sci-fi there, but there was so much, just put spaceships in it movies.
Any Roger Corman movie, basically.
So this is look at how much money they're making on a shared universe. Can we make a shared universe? Board games? Let's try it.
Hungry Hippos just lends itself
Terrible.
to filmmaking
That's
just so naturally.
what my blog joke was that the Easter egg at the end of Candyland would be Action Man writing in on Hungry Hungry Hippos and then grabbing Miss Scarlet's butt because he's from the 60s.
I think if they had had the hippos be the Act 3 fight against the aliens, it would have made this a better movie.
Probably. I
Yeah.
can't dispute that.
Well, you did see some of it. Never mind.
I mean, it was a water-based fight. It would work so perfectly. They could be eating the shredder drones.
The most dangerous animal on planet Earth takes down the aliens. I like
That's right.
it. Are you guys ready to get into this thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, our biggest problem that we're going to have with this film is that nothing happens for an hour of it. This is a 2 hour and 11-minute long film where one half of it could be just cut. Just get out of here.
Yeah.
If they're trying to set up the main character, they only needed like 10 seconds of what they used because we didn't need to see him do stuff for an hour to realize this guy's a total douche.
Yeah, you could just have his face like somebody holds up a sign and douche is written on the top of it. Here's your lead character. Okay, thank you. Thank you for getting to the point.
Don't even need the
I
sign.
didn't need a sign.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, dude, at the very beginning, he doesn't have a job. He's drunk. He's day drinking is what it seems like.
Now we should say that this is Tayler Kitsch.
Kish, yes.
Kish, who is John Carter of Mars.
He's named after shit art.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie.
I just can't get that out of my head now. Thanks, Dick.
Yeah, he's Kish. He's like a porcelain rooster on the nightstand. Like, what the fuck is that?
It's your
That is
grandma's
so
favorite
fitting.
knick-knack.
Oh, I think his grandma had some other favorite knickknacks, if you know what I'm saying.
God, you're just...
Since we're lambasting grandmothers on today's
Yeah.
show.
Today's show, grandmas and their sturdy little secrets. Let's not talk about my grandma. Anyway, she had a naked monk that you pushed on his back and his penis came out of his cloak.
You just said I'm not going to talk about my
Well,
grandma.
you gotta leave. You can't leave that out.
Yeah, I can't leave that out since we're talking about dirty grandmas. Anyway, Quiche Art.
So he's a loser.
Yeah, he's a loser. He has no fucking job, no prospects. He doesn't have a running car. He doesn't have an apartment. He's pretty much a homeless. He's a transient
He lives
at this
with
point.
he lives with his brother, who is played by Alexander Skarsgård, who from a quite respected filmmaking family. Not so much here, but we should mention also that Tyler's name is Stone Hooper.
No, Skarsgård's Stone Hooper.
No?
Kish is Alex Hooper.
What?
Yes. Hopper.
Hopper.
Stone Hopper and Alex Hopper.
Oh, I had it
Yeah.
totally wrong then.
No, that's why he's like Bubby Hopper, basically.
Oh, God.
It's like the parents really put in some thought into the first one, and then it was like, fuck it.
Stone.
Stone's the tall, handsome
Stone
one.
Hopper.
Stone Hopper.
So I have to ask you, Jackie, is Tayler Kitsch a dreamboat?
No.
Okay.
Skarsgård
That
is
fast, huh?
pretty cute.
Yeah, Skarsgård is, I'll be honest, he's a specimen. But,
Oh, that's because he looks like you.
I've been only seeing the trailer for Tarzan. I'm like, well, that guy's built well. Yeesh.
Dude, that guy is one buff machine.
he is...
I would touch him, even if he didn't want me to. I'd be like, hey, what's up? I've never touched a 12-pack before. Can I just touch your stomach?
This is where America's gone, Joe. Now the women are committing sexual assault.
Yeah, really. Consent matters. Come on.
I'm a
Like,
feminist. I don't need to ask for permission.
Just grab him
That
by the
makes
balls.
sense.
Just grab them by the balls. I'm famous. I'm on a podcast. They want me to grab them by the balls.
Oh, I see. You
I
get
learned
away
this
with it.
from my president.
Okay, this is where America has fallen.
So his brother's like, I've had enough of this bullshit. You need to get your life together. You're gonna join the Navy with me because I'm the captain of a huge vessel. I don't know if it's a destroyer or a battleship that he's in charge.
He's on
of,
a destroyer.
but-
A
Okay.
destroyer.
Yeah.
And how
But-
did that work? How did that? You're gonna do this? No saying no to this. Oh, damn! You said no takebacks. Like,
Well, I'll
Yeah,
tell you
but-
how it worked. They jump cut.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
That's how it solves everything.
Well, he
Forward
got
cutting.
arrested for stealing a burrito, and then they were like, look, dude, join the Navy or you're going to do 5 to 10 for stealing a fucking $1 burrito.
Yeah, he meets Brooklyn Decker, who is a swimsuit model, I believe.
Yeah,
An SI cover girl.
I
type
believe so,
jobber.
yeah.
Yikes! This is what
She's-
I'm going to say.
She is quite beautiful.
She's a little top heavy.
Yeah, a little top heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when I grow up, that's what I'm going to look like.
Oh,
Yeah. Gonna have to work out more and stop eating so many burritos,
when you
but I'm
turn
gonna get
39.
there.
Yeah, she needs to worry about those chicken burritos that she wants, or otherwise, uh-oh.
I don't know if those actually have any nutritional value.
No, they're processed
I
food.
think it's like eating polyester.
Especially the ones that you have to break into a gas station to get, which is what he does, and it's the buttest scene. It just sucks so bad because he breaks into this gas station to get her a chicken burrito, and the crime footage, the security cam footage that they show is exactly the same as a 2001 or 2011 internet video of a dumb burglar breaking in. Like it was on the Tosh show. It's a nice joke that sucks.
Like this massive budget movie has a meme reference in it.
Right.
What?
Not it, guys. Meanwhile, while all this is happening...
Wait, I gotta ask Joe a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Joe,
Yeah.
if somebody broke into a gas station to get you a burrito, would you go on a date with them?
No, not, especially not some drunken boob running from the cops.
What if it was Brooklyn Decker? Yeah.
Like, what if that would make me even more worried? Like, all you had to do was say hello. Like, you could just have a conversation. And you went and did this. Now I'm going to say no.
Exactly.
Nobody ever says, you had me at chicken burrito.
You had me at running from the cops and being tasered. Also, can we talk about how lucky he is that he's a white guy doing that? Because damn.
Oh, come on. No.
Are you kidding me? If that guy was anything but a handsome white guy, he'd have been riddled with holes.
Man, if only. Now, meanwhile, in space and NASA and science portions of Earth, they have built a space laser that's like a fiber optic cable that goes to other planets.
They're calling it a communications satellite, but the special effects make it clearly a meltifying heat ray.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something you would see in a Superman comic. And they found a second Earth, basically, something in the habitable zone that's Earth-like,
Sure.
that may or may not have life on it. So they send this giant death ray into this planet, and they're waiting to hear back or something.
Yeah. Just when you think, okay, well, now we've learned that the soldier characters are really dumb. How dumb are the scientists? Oh, they're dumber.
They're super stupid.
Oh, really neat. Hey, we found a planet and we think it might be habitable. Quick, let's say hello really, really loudly to them, even though we don't know anything about them.
We know nothing. If there even is something. How much did this damn death ray cost? And you're just shooting it at random planets. That makes no sense.
Scientists the world over begging for funding to research cancer, and somebody goes, I want to say hello to that planet we found. And they're like, in a year, you're funded.
Does it have sentient life on it that speak English? I don't fucking know. Let's try it.
Let's find
They
out.
sent Nickelback,
Oh, God,
like
that's
a
what
like
happened.
a Nickelback song. You look something cooler with something in your mouth.
That's going to be one of the deleted scenes, is it? That's the reason for the attack? How dare you?
Well, I have some
dare
theories
you.
about that.
Planet G is what they're calling
Planet
it.
G.
But the laser hit the spot.
Oh, no.
Just saying that
G-spot.
satellite is better than most men at its job. I don't know why it was a low-lying fruit that I had to pick. I couldn't leave that one there for whatever reason, and it should have been left there.
You just, guys, look it up online. Come on. Like, this isn't like if you don't know, just ask Google.
The next Onlightened podcast episode will be on the G-spot.
There we go. Well, I mean, you just type it in. There's pictures with there's illustrations, and I'm sure there's videos for anybody who cares.
I've looked at those pictures. I don't know what any of that stuff is. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. What? They have that? I'm not gonna have sex for a while. It's weird down there. So now John Carter is in the Navy, and
A officer, nonetheless.
yeah, he just goes straight to officer. Brooklyn Decker's father, they're now in love and happily almost married.
Sure.
Brooklyn Decker's father is Liam Neeson, the head of the entire U.S. Navy.
Liam Neeson is the best looking man in this movie.
Oh,
More than Skarsgård.
More than Skarsgård.
wow. I thought he was ridiculously scruffy, actually. Like, it really bugged me how scruffy looking Liam Neeson was. Because I've just, like, I live near Vancouver, so I've actually been doing some background acting work. And, like, even though I'm just a person in a street scene walking back and forth, there's hair people coming up and making sure my hair is not out of place. And all I could see was Liam Neeson's hair as a military, like as an admiral, just sticking up all over the place. And I'm like, why is somebody not matting that down?
He Jackie, I'm not getting it, dude, because I'm with Joe. He looks like he did in Darkman before he figured out how to put his face on. Like when he's all burnt and grody. That's what he looks like. He looks awful in this film.
Yeah. I feel he just walked out of his trailer and was like, what am I saying? Okay. And then did it and then walked away.
And
Yes.
then walked away from set.
His entire performance reeks of he was there 2 days, he did it the way he was going to do it, and he left.
That's what we're given, because that's my very first question, is how long Liam Neeson's on set? You think 2 days?
2 days.
Yeah.
I think he could have done it in 1, maybe.
Ugh, it is Neeson. He is a professional.
Yeah.
They had a lot of big scenes to set, and that takes time, like where he has to sit around. But yeah, I don't, 2 probably. Yeah.
Yeah. He had there was a bunch of green screen stuff with him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Obvious, too. Like,
He
super
looked good in
obvious
those little
green
white
screen.
pants.
Jackie, he looks like hammer dog shit.
No, he doesn't. Shut up.
All right. Well,
These are
anyway.
subjective opinions. You're allowed to be
that's
that
true.
wrong.
Shut up. God damn it, Joe. Shut up.
So now his future son-in-law is, and I guess there's going to be it's nepotism, right? There's no way that this guy's an officer.
Yeah.
No.
Like Brooklyn's like, Danny, my guy needs to not be the latrine cleaner.
Well, to be honest, the math just doesn't work. So the fastest route would be Naval Academy. That's 4 years. This is like 3 years after he gets arrested for the chicken burrito.
Mm-hmm.
So if he went the conventional route to a normal college and then OCC or whatever, 6 years to get there.
Yeah.
So
He's only an E6.
There is some background information in the trivia, I think, on IMDb about this, that he's got some kind of tattoo on, which means he's a re-enlister.
Oh.
So he might have been in before, dropped out, and then he was like, that's it, you're coming back or something.
Might have been a good idea to establish that at some point.
Yeah, if he had just said you're re-enlisting instead of you're enlisting. Like, that's it.
1 or 2 lines.
Could have been 80 yard.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, there's rim pack going on. It's rim pack time, which I don't know what is. You guys, you've expressed to me, Joe and Sam, that it's a real thing.
Yep.
What do you want to volunteer on explaining what rim pack is?
All the Pacific Rim countries participate in mock war games.
Every
It's,
year?
Yeah, it's
I don't-
Rim of the Pacific exercise.
Huh.
It's the world's largest international maritime warfare exercise.
So, U.S., Canada, Japan,
I think Singapore, all of them.
Does
Yep.
Canada have a
Korea.
Navy?
Australia's?
Yeah, we have a Navy because we have to watch the northern waters up there from all the Russians coming across the North Pole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
From the border of Alaska. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've also got Navy on both of our oceans as well. I mean, it's not huge. We're not a giant military country, but yeah, we actually have a Navy.
Actually, I thought that...
You guys have a carrier, don't you?
I don't believe we have an aircraft carrier.
Oh.
No.
I thought the only
Losers.
country that had a carrier besides the U.S. was China at this point.
France and England both have 2.
Okay. This may be cut later. I don't know because it's not relevant to anything. But isn't the most elite naval special ops group in the world Canadian?
No, the most elite dual operators are Canadian.
But they're not Navy?
Not Navy, no.
Okay. Joe, you got anything on that?
That I don't know about. I do know that we've got some really excellent sniper teams
Yes,
that
you do
have
have that
been
now.
assisting the American military in places.
You hold the record.
I think we got the record back just recently. Before that, somebody else had taken it, and before that, it was another Canadian team. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good record, but it is there.
It's there.
Oh, my
Yep.
God.
Well, Jackie, I mean, it is guys' heads coming off. Anyways, let's talk about some guys' heads that don't come off, and we wish they would in this film. So they've now brought everybody that's cool in Rim Pack to Hawaii
Yes.
for a soccer tournament.
Yes.
Okay.
And the soccer tournament has announcers.
Yeah, it's like on ESPN.
Yeah, and it's like the ESPN3 announcers. They're not professional because they're a little too zany. Yeah.
That was what got me, was the quality of them. I totally believe that a couple of guys who like soccer would sit down and do that. No, we'll record ourselves and we'll be the color announcers. But that they sounded so professional. Yeah, that was really weird.
And the first thing that you see in the soccer game is somebody doing a shoulder charge pad tackle, which is not part of that game. Horridly illegal. You can't just run through people.
I'm sure our listeners in other countries are riveted by this football talk, but you've just put me to sleep, Buster.
You can't tackle people in soccer.
I can't watch soccer. I can't listen to people talk about soccer or football, as it were. So I would like you to get done with your statements on the football match as fast as possible, please.
Well, it's real haywire, and it's definitely very loose rules in the soccer match. There's a lot of tackling, a lot of face kicking.
Yeah, some face kicking.
Yeah, can you kick somebody in the face in soccer and get away with it? That's what I want to know.
Well, he doesn't get away with it. There's a penalty called, and Tayler Kitsch gets a free kick, a game-winning opportunity kick.
That would be a suspension then and the next game in any.
Well, maybe Rimpak
sanction.
has different rules.
Apparently it does.
Yeah. You can get your foot up that high to kick somebody in the face. I'm impressed.
I think the argument, though, is that he was going for the ball. Like both of them. Well, the ball was up in the air, and they were both kicking for it. He just missed and hit the guy in the face, so it was only the kick, I guess.
Well, in his defense, he did hit a round object that's filled with air.
Yes.
Hey-o, I'll take that on the road. Just launched my comedy career.
There you go.
Yeah, something.
That's my shtick. It's like the guy that is too sad and that Russian guy. What a country! I'll just be like, it's a ball that doesn't have any air in it, and then people will throw things at me, like old tomatoes.
You have a tie, you pull on and go, look at this guy. Whoa.
The thing I think that bugged me the most about the head kick was that the Japanese guy didn't go, I didn't mean to. Like the way he responded seemed to be like, yeah, I kicked you in the head, so what?
Yeah, what you got?
Like, what? Really? So you?
What you gonna do about it? Win the game or something?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I respected the hell out of the. Was he Japanese?
Yes.
Yeah.
For kicking him right in the face.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
It's
if they did more of that in soccer, I would probably watch.
If they did more of that in this movie, more people would watch, because it's the best thing that happens in the first 50 minutes of this film. Watching stupid Hopper get kicked in the face.
Yeah, because it's somebody. Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
So he cost them the game. He's like, I'm going to do the penalty kick and I'm going to win this thing. He boots it out of. It doesn't even exist, and there's just no point to the soccer game at all, other than to being like, it's like the beach volleyball scene in Top Gun. Like, look at these cool guys.
Actually, I'm just going to borrow from Bill Corbett. It's the how to make your movie 10 minutes longer scene.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, he threatens to kill one of his teammates.
Yes, he does.
Like, I will kill you. And it's not in a joking fashion. And I was like, well, you can't threaten a guy. And then one of them goes, yeah, definitely concussed. And I'm like, so why is anybody letting him do anything he wants to do?
Court
Are you
martial.
listening to that threat? Yeah.
He's out of here, Buster.
Yeah.
You can't. Anyways. So, meanwhile, in space during all this, something is happening. I don't know what yet.
It seems to be cloaked space aliens.
Is it?
I thought they were triangles.
It's so vague on what's going on in space at this point that it's just like, here's space and things are flashing and okay.
Yeah.
Space triangles, it must be 30 minutes into this movie.
Yeah, right.
Oh, now we get them? Thanks.
So on the USS Missouri, the battleship that's been decommissioned in Pearl Harbor, they're having a big celebration. Liam Neeson's there. A bunch of old vets are there from the Korean War. I believe that's who these guys are.
World War II.
Well, they're World War II vets?
Yeah.
They should be like a lot older than that then. Some of these guys look like they're about 65.
They were, as I said, Grandpa got to do it when he was 16 after he got to do it when he was 14, so.
Which would make him 80. Anyways, they're vets. And there's a big tour. They've got tourists there, people taking pictures. Johnny Stupid shows up late, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to get a trophy from Liam Neeson or something.
Well,
anyways.
he divulges some very key information to one of the children in the film.
I'm glad you're talking about this.
because they were saying that battleships are obsolete, and she's like, "Oh, this is why he's still a lieutenant because he's always late." And he turns to the kid and he says, "I fight the ship."
I fight the ship.
What does that mean?
I don't
What
know.
does that mean?
Yeah, Joe, as our expert resident, because your family was in the military most recently, do you know about this slang?
Fighting
No.
ships.
Yeah.
Best case scenario is he screwed up his line and he said, "I fly the ship."
That doesn't
But
make sense.
It still doesn't make any sense.
I think it's because he's in charge of weapons, so he's the part of the ship that fights. Like he fights, he's the fighting part of the ship. I don't know. I think he's still concussed because the other
Right.
line he says is that destroyers are designed to dish it out like the Terminator. And I'm like, no, the Terminator doesn't have any built-in weapons. The Terminator is nearly indestructible and unstoppable, like the battleship that you mentioned. Like, he's just so wrong. He's double wrong. How did people let that into the script? Let's keep that cut.
Well, in terms of the script, it's just this one thing that you're wondering about how it got into the script, because, this screenplay is not good.
Like, no, it's not.
All right, so he gets lectured from Liam Neeson for being a ding-dong and like, "Oh, you want to marry my daughter, even though I don't know that, but I can see it clearly, but it's not going to happen because you're kind of just a general jack-off." Now they're on exercises. They're out in the ocean.
Well, you missed the part about how he gets in the fight with a Japanese guy in the
because
bathroom.
It's just not that awesome.
Well, that's why he gets in trouble.
Yeah, but who cares?
He's about to get kicked out of the Navy.
Yeah,
no.
dude.
Oh,
High
no.
drama.
Ugh. This backstory shouldn't
Yeah,
even
this
exist.
is the soap opera part.
Oh, because that's what we came for.
That's what the ladies came for.
Soap opera? Not in a movie called Battleship, where there's space aliens that lob pegs at people. That's what you came for?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
the
Fair enough.
backstory, the relationships, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I want backstory, but I think I want it done in about 12 minutes.
Yeah, right.
What,
Right?
not an hour?
Yeah, I think we're at minute 50 now. That's how little is in the front end of this that we wanted to talk about. But anyways, they're on exercises. They're out in the Pacific. Everybody's like, "All right, we're going to kick those guys' asses, and we're going to win this thing." Is it like paintball? Is that what's going on here?
Pretty much.
Okay. Or laser tag?
Kind of.
Dude, this would be awesome to experience. As a civilian, to get to hang out and do some stuff.
What are the rules? Is it like deathmatch, or is it like capture the flag, or
laser tag?
Yeah, but is it everybody against everybody, or is the U.S. against the Japanese, or?
I'm imagining that they have different scenarios each time.
The ESGR should take Boss Lift to the next level and let us go on this exercise with Rimpack.
That's something that people are going to know about,
Yeah.
Jackie.
Acronyms.
Something that happens at the Boise Air Force
ESGR
Base.
is a national thing. They support our troops.
Okay, and so people know what boss lift. Anyways,
Boss Lift is for those people serving in the reserves or part-time military, and they invite their bosses onto the base to see what they do. The end. Excellent program. I just went.
That sounds cool.
Good job.
And I got to go up in a Black Hawk, and it was freaking awesome.
So back in Hawaii, Brooklyn Decker is working at the physical therapy place that she goes to, which is all wounded vets hospital.
Which I think she's either a physical therapist or a doctor of some sort.
Yeah, maybe
Even
she's
though
a
you
doctor
called
of
her a
physical
nurse
therapy.
earlier because she's got big boobs.
Oh, dude, I am an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dick.
Dick.
Oh man, we need
She's a
time machine to
professional
take
woman.
That's not cool at all, Justin.
I was waiting. I've been waiting on that one.
Gotcha, bitch. So she meets a guy there named Nick, who is a former naval guy who has had his legs gone from his body, and he's not the happiest of guy in his current situation.
No, he's a little upset, understandably.
Sam, what's the story? What's the backstory with this Nick actor? Is he a real guy?
Yeah, he's a real double amputee vet.
Okay, so is he in this film because of that, or is he an actor who used to be a double amputee vet?
You know, that I don't know. I know that he is a former veteran. I don't know what his acting before or after.
No, this is his acting debut.
Okay. which
It's
I
pretty obvious.
yeah. Well, he's not good at acting, but I think Nick might be my favorite character in this film.
He's not any worse than Tayler Kitsch.
No, he's not. Nobody's good in this, including Academy Award-winning Liam Neeson.
Yeah, no, the real vet and the swimsuit model are doing just as fine as anybody.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think she was probably the best. She actually put expressions on her face that matched the things she was looking at.
Wait, she
properly.
had a face?
Yes.
Oh. I'm going to have to try this movie again.
Yeah.
Viewing number 4.
No, I missed it. I just didn't see the face at all. Damn it. Okay, so she's going to get him to do physical therapy, or I don't know.
Yeah, he's having a hard time with the treadmill. He's really cranky. She's been reassigned to, get him a little bit more chipper. So she's taking him on a real hike rather than just the phony machine walk.
Yeah, they decide to climb Mount Oahu.
I don't know anything about the names of
That's
mountains.
it's a pretty big mountain. I don't know. I don't think this is the first step you take is climbing one of the tallest mountains in the Western Hemisphere. But okay.
Well,
It's time for your grandma jokes.
Yeah, according to Nick, his grandma could climb it.
Yeah.
Ooh. I've seen Sam's grandma climb.
Oh, God damn it.
God damn it. You're such an asshole.
Finally, the movie is about to start because the fucking aliens are on their way. And they're not good drivers.
No.
Yes.
They have traveled all the way from planet G and don't have steering wheels on their spaceships, apparently.
Fastest way to get from point A to point B is a straight line.
Right?
You just hope for the best.
And their ships are apparently made out of styrofoam.
Why not?
Because they taco a satellite, a communication satellite, in orbit around Earth.
Yeah.
And we know that satellites, if you know anything about how satellites are manufactured, they're all about lightweight.
Yes.
You want to make them as light as possible, and they don't have a lot of stuff on them anyways, so they're essentially plastic.
It's like if you ran over an egg with your car and the axle broke.
And the car exploded.
Sure.
And
Veered down a cliffside.
yes,
Yeah.
these ships suck.
Yes. These aliens make no sense. Like, they felt like the aliens from The Simpsons. Our superior weapons are no match for that board with a nail in it.
It's bonkers. I mean, I just don't know how anybody saw that crash into a satellite and explode into flames and be like, oh, these guys are a threat. Just, oh my man.
They set up a situation where they have to capture a communications array. So it's almost like they planned on crashing into that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is my biggest question. I think we'll save some
Save
alien
some of that.
motivation for the end.
Yeah.
I think the aliens have read the script.
Ooh.
Oh. If we don't crash into this, there's not going to be a movie, people.
Right. So the rest, the non-crashed pieces or individual ships land in the ocean outside of Hawaii, and the one takes out Hong Kong, essentially. The crashing one explodes Hong Kong, which means that everybody on the planet now knows that Earth has been visited, but the movie never makes reference to that.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, the Earth doesn't change at all.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Life goes on. People just mill about doing their job. There's actually shots later where this has happened, and people on the Air Force base, or not the Air Force base, but the naval base, are just like carrying random things back and forth. Not in like, we're at DEFCON 5. It's like DEFCON 0.5.
Yeah.
Oish. Well, RIMPAC has been called off because of this incident, and they've gotten message, form up ranks. We're doing stuff now.
That's what it was.
Yeah, we're going to do stuff.
Form up on me.
Yeah.
And then what? I don't know.
I think we should ask Joe what the proper terminology is.
Okay.
Isn't it Autobots transform and roll out?
Yeah, there you go.
think that's how it
Avengers
works.
Assemble.
Avengers assemble.
Yeah, okay. So they spot one, the boat guys, the ship guys, the Navy, sticking out of the ocean, and it's like a big tower thing that one of these ships is.
That's
Yes.
their battleship, Justin.
Is it?
Yes.
But it's also like their communication laser shield generator.
It's their laser shield generator that they need to make a bubble so they can steal a communications array because they just can't go anywhere without running into goddamn satellites and ruining their own communications array.
Yeah, this thing.
Okay, do you want to know what it actually is?
Okay, go ahead.
This is the game board generator.
What?
You're right. It is the game board
generator. It goes and it turns this worldwide aliens have attacked fight into now the size of a Battleship board game.
I never made the connection that that's what that thing is doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Boof. Now I feel
Welcome to the board game cinematic shared universe.
So ultimately, the movie hasn't started until just now.
Until just now, you're right.
Yeah.
That is correct. Good spot there, Joe. So they're like, well, what the hell is that thing? Well, we'll send out 3 guys on a Zodiac, one of them being
The biggest douche emissary that you would ever send to make first contact.
Yes.
and a pop star. Don't forget a pop star. Rihanna's manning the machine gun.
Yeah.
I liked Rihanna in this, actually. I didn't know it was her until afterwards, because I don't really know her that well myself. But, like, I didn't mind her being on there, but I couldn't understand why there's a gun on the Zodiac during your first contact.
Yeah, probably not a good diplomatic move.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to get into that later. Okay. So they send these guys out on a Zodiac. It's a really bad strategy, but it is the people in this film, not an accurate representation of how the Navy actually works. So I'm fine with it for this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And John Carter jumps on it. He's like, I'm going to check it out. I don't know what it is. He stands up on it, and then he puts his hand on it, which causes it to zap him into the ocean. Like, no touch.
That's the tickly spot.
Yeah. So now everybody's like, holy shit, what the hell, man? Stuff's going crazy. And then these other big ships come out of the water, like 3 floating massive Transformer-style ships.
Yes.
Do you guys like the ship design?
I appreciated kind of the water bug thing that they were going for with it,
Mm-hmm.
like the way that they moved and stuff. But just that, like thousands of little parts moving and sticking and grinding and transformery, like whirlwind in a junkyard look, I just really don't like.
Yeah.
Well, funny, you should mention Transformers. It's the same mechanical design, because the reason that Hasbro decided they had to have their own studio division was because of the success of Transformers.
There you go.
So mechanically, they borrowed everything they could mechanical design-wise legally from Transformers.
Yeah, it shows. I don't like it. I didn't like it in Transformers. Don't like it here.
Yeah, I don't either. Jackie, your thoughts?
I'm trying to think of something with Canadian bacons, but I can't.
Oh, come on, man.
What?
It's just they were so stupid, and honestly, I didn't
And
get
Canadian
this.
bacon stupid?
No,
Is that where you're
Canadian
going?
bacon is delicious.
It's awesome.
I think they just call
But
it
I didn't get the
ham.
water skipper thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to college with a guy named Sasha that was Canadian. He's one of my good friends, and I did it. I was the dumb American when I was 19. I was like, so what do you call Canadian bacon? And he just looks at me, he's like, we call it fucking ham. Because that's what it fucking is.
Yeah.
Love it.
No, I didn't get the water skipper thing. I just thought they were really terrible drivers. Like, this was driver's ed for this planet. Like, we're gonna take you out. We're gonna let you, kind of learn the controls.
Oh, that's an interesting theory too.
And that's why, like, they really didn't, I don't know, ever hover or fly.
Uh-huh.
That
Because
would explain
obviously
a
they
lot.
could.
Yes.
They just traveled from across the galaxy.
Yes.
So
And
all their
don't
movements
fly.
was a new driver trying to figure out how a clutch works.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a awesome theory, Jackie. I really like that. It fits. It makes sense with my later theory, so we'll table that.
Okay.
So the Navy's like, give them a warning honk. And then the alien ships are like, oh yeah, and they do their honk, which ends up blowing like a shockwave, a sound wave it blows out all the windows of the ships. And Rihanna and the Zodiac are right next. They're dead.
The concussion.
They're
killed them.
liquefied people.
Mm-hmm.
But nope, they're fine. Or they're like, ow, that was really loud. And then they can hear each other. Come on, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, that was some movie physics there, where it's really loud, and it's the same loudness here as it is really far away.
Right.
That's
and
not
we can
how
hear
that
each
works.
other. It didn't liquefy our brains.
Yeah.
Well, the Navy's like, you know what? I'm getting bored out here. Let's fire a shot at him. See what happens.
Which after so they sound their horn, and the response to a horn is a damaging, massive sound wave back. So he thinks, let's fire a warning shot. Like you don't understand what the response to that's gonna be.
Yeah, it was a clear communication that whatever you've got, we've got better.
Yes.
So they shoot first. It doesn't work. The Navy starts the whole goddamn thing. Aliens return fire, and they're shooting game pieces, pegs. That's their primary artillery weapon. Is the little red and blue or red and white pegs.
Yes,
they're not colored that, but they look exactly like it.
Yeah, these are the Battleship pegs. I kind of like that. I kind of went, okay, that's not bad. that's cute. That part I'm kind of down with.
And they're pretty deadly. They blow up 2 of the ships because there's only 3 ships there. The rest of the Navy has been cut off.
Yeah,
and by the shield generator, and they blow up.
They kill
Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård immediately.
Yeah,
and then once Kish gets back on board and finds out that he's now the commanding officer
of the John Paul Jones,
he uses the often ordered command, full attack.
Yes. What do we do? Full attack.
Full attack.
Which
that's not a real thing, is it?
It starts how? What's a full attack, boss?
Full attack.
It's
if you can think of anything that's not attacking, don't do that, and only do things that sound like attacking.
How do we start?
Throwing rocks.
I think you'd go as fast as you can towards the thing.
Do we just shoot guns
whenever they're ready?
Okay.
Full attack.
What about our lunch? Should we throw that at them too?
Save that for later.
Empty the latrine at them.
Oh.
Full attack is the worst command that you could give. That's not a real thing, boss. Well, I don't know. I'm not a fucking captain. So
well, it's the
let's
name
ask
of one of
Joe.
the songs from the soundtrack.
Full attack.
Full attack is one of the sounds on the one of the songs on the score.
Oh boy.
So
oh my god, awesome.
So they
it's all about
that.
sales.
They embraced full attack. I don't know. Maybe full attack is a thing that you say in the Navy. I don't
think you do.
I don't know.
We're out of options.
Is there
Full
half attack? Half attack.
Yeah, 3/4 attack.
And then I guess somebody would know. Oh, half attack. That means I don't press fire. I don't. And what would be the point?
No,
I don't know.
Which half?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
back half.
Wait, am I in the front of the ship or the back? Do I fire? But I could be making jokes about a thing I'm completely ignorant about. Some Navy guys are listening, Navy people are listening, just going, "You idiots!"
They just threw their headphones to the TV.
These dickheads don't know how to full attack.
I totally admit I do not.
All right, so the Japanese ship gets exploded too,
And he sacrifices himself because he sees what this John Carter's doing, and he's like, "We got to stop him." And he sends a warning shot across the bow of one of the little transformer guys, which then destroys his entire ship.
It explodes it to bits.
Yeah.
And there's guys now in the water, and so John Carter's like, "What do we do? Boss, you need to slow down. We got to go save those guys. They're drowning." "No, the full attack is on. Once you go full attack, you can't go back to none attack.
Yeah, you can't.
De-attack."
Yeah.
You can't stop once you start. It stings.
Yeah, but they do. They go back and save these guys. So, which plays into my later theory again. Hint, hint.
Oh, okay.
So, the tower is like amping up their attack business or something. It shoots roller balls out of the top of it that go down into Hawaii. Like they traverse the entire ocean and land in the mainland.
And there's a line of dialogue that happens later with just this character of dialogue convenience that's one of the sheriffs that says what they've done is basically cut off any route to this satellite thing. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that line too.
It only works because that weird Hawaiian cop shows up and is like, "Hey, by the way, this is what's happening in the movie right now."
Oh, No, because it doesn't make it.
It doesn't make any
they
goddamn
take out the
sense.
choppers. I get that
Yeah.
on the air base, but then they take out the freeway supports,
Yeah.
killing hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cutting off any route that they can to get up to that communications array.
What about the people that are already on the other side of the freeway that could get up there?
They figure they'll just, extinguish that fire when it comes.
Why not just park on the road of the mountain, like park in it?
I don't know. You could get like those barricades, like road's closed.
Yeah. Send some of your alien guys out there and like they're working construction by some orange barrels and say, "See, we are normal human Earthmen like you," as they stand on their shovel and lean on it.
We are enforcing enhanced penalties in this speed zone, as any normal Earthman would do.
Correct. Yes.
It's a construction zone.
That doesn't make any sense, Sam. That sucks. That's a real bad excuse for special effects.
Yes. And they're the same fucking special effects from Transformers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these rollerball things suck.
That's where one of the things I'm wondering, like, how the shit did this cost $200 million if you borrowed all the models from a movie that already got made?
And potentially even the animations. Like, it
Exactly.
really feels like these are just Transformer move paths through a previous movie that they've just replaced the thing that's moving.
And there's no, like, correlation between the board game and these rollerball things.
No.
None that I
No.
can make. So they're just bullshit. Like, we got it. Okay, we'll make a special effect. Anyways, okay. So the aliens also have sent a transport ship to land to get this comm station that Brooklyn Decker and Nick are walking up nearby. And so now the mountain that they're on top of is filled with creepy aliens.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time that Nick perks up. He's like, oh, shit, there's aliens. I've never seen an alien before.
Come check it out.
Check it out.
Pulls a Chuck Norris right there.
Dude, but okay, honestly, wouldn't you? If you've got fuck all going on, both your legs are gone, you're kind of like in a state of depression. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. It can't get any worse. I'm totally going to go check this out.
Here's the deal, Jackie. I have both of my legs.
But if you didn't, if you were this guy.
No, I'm kind of, let me finish my argument. I have both of my legs and I'm kind of a ninny and I'm always grouchy. If I see a giant space shield go up and then there's things flying all over the place and some guy's like, yeah, they just took out Hong Kong, I'm thinking it's probably going to be the end of the world. So yeah, I'm going to go check it out. Doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah, where you're
I'm going to
standing,
get
right?
exploded here or I'm going to get exploded over there, but I can at least see what they look like.
Yeah, you might as
you
well
gotta-
get a good view during the explosions.
Yeah, I
His-
totally would.
His legs have nothing to do with him making a wise decision.
I agree with Jackie. I think that it's part of him going, look, man, I'm depressed and don't care about anything, so I don't even care if something bad happens, but what if I go see cool aliens? Let's go. Like, yeah. I totally think it was kind of part of his character. It was hard
I
to
think that's-
read because
yes.
he was not very good.
Right.
But like he had all he had was like grumpy face. That was his problem, was he didn't have anything extra. But that's amateur actors. That's what happens. You get one thing going on.
Well, now somehow one of these aliens has ended up on the John Paul Jones. Is that established how this guy gets
No,
on there?
this guy just fucking shows
He's
up.
just a dead, sort of deadish
Knocked
alien laying in their like cargo hold.
This is where you really, especially like the second or third time through, you realize that all of the circumstances and events that happen in this film are only there to facilitate later circumstances and events.
Yeah.
There is no natural way that any story can happen inside of these 2 hours and 11 minutes. It's all just instances of convenience that help other things happen later. And this is there so that the farm boy can put on his goddamn helmet later.
Or is it there so that he can get a message like a Vulcan mind meld type message that they're here to explode the Earth?
That doesn't really play out.
It doesn't.
It doesn't pay off at all.
I looked at that in slow-mo, and all it showed was that, yeah, they do fight, there's a big war and a planet gets attacked, but it doesn't, say that they're invaders or anything. It could be like, shit, somebody else tried to fight us and we had to kill them. I'm still not convinced these aliens are bad guys, because they constantly go out of their ways to not attack non-weapon bearing targets.
Yeah.
All right. So they fight, and I guess they kick this alien's ass. Sort of. It's long and arduous, and
there's another alien that comes on board, and that's when we get the making sure it's PG-13 joke that they do twice in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Because Rihanna sees this alien, and John Carter's like, get to the CDC. And
Center for Disease Control.
Yeah, because that's on a ship.
what's the...
I don't know. CIC?
CIC. Yeah. And so she runs up there, and he's like, leads it out onto the deck in front of one of the 10-inch guns. And she's like, mahalo, mother, beep. But there's no beep. It just cuts to her blowing it up.
Cut to the next scene.
Yeah. No, that's not a good joke, guys.
It's not. I did appreciate how they took out a high-tech single alien with that giant gun, though. I'm like that's kind of what I want you to have to do to a single high-tech alien, right? They shouldn't be just beaten up by regular guns or a guy punching them or anything like that.
Yes, right.
Because they should be like, hey, what if they punch us or have guns? And they should be ready for that with their high-tech stuff, right? Like,
well, they didn't say, hey, what if there's a satellite in the way?
Yeah, right.
I know. Oh, man.
So up on the mountain, one of the science guys comes down and finds Nick and Brooklyn Decker, and he's like, the aliens are trying to steal our comm signal to send a signal to their planet, and in order to do that, it's got to line up with the satellite, so we've only got 4 hours left.
Yeah.
So we need to do something. I guess they're going to invade and really screw stuff up if we don't do something, but... Meanwhile, the Japanese captain. I've got Captain Tanaka written down, but I know that's not his name. Do we have his name?
No, I don't know. I only know his real name is Asano. This is his last name.
Okay,
Or
Captain
surname.
Asano. We'll go
I
with that.
love this guy.
He's good.
I do like him too. In fact, I would say he's the best actor in this film.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
we keep amping it up with Brooklyn Decker, to Rihanna, now Captain Asano.
Nagata is his name. Captain Nagata.
Nagata.
Captain Nagata.
Isn't that the helmsman in Battlestar Galactica?
No.
No.
Nagata. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, so he has a plan. He's going to use the buoys that the Japanese have hacked, essentially, these buoys to track water displacement.
Sure.
Of the movements of the alien ships, so that they can fire from a safe distance without the aliens knowing where they're at. Which seems to be the game Battleship.
So the movie actually just started now.
I just started.
Yes.
Now we're actually in Battleship the movie, which only lasts about 3.5, 4 minutes.
Yeah, they play Battleship. G4, miss.
And this is at about, it's a little bit before an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
So we're at the time when the movie should be ending, and it's just started.
F24, miss.
Again, I kind of appreciated this. I'm like, look, if you challenge your writers, can you kind of get the board game into this a bit? I'm kind of happy. Like,
Yeah.
as silly as this is a silly that I give a thumbs up to.
I do too.
Absolutely.
I
And
do too.
I wonder, it was like you challenge the writers to do this, and they're like, good job. What happened to the rest of it?
We're the ones who made the characters and dialogue go.
So eventually there's two of them coming at him, the two of the big alien ships, and it's all super tense, and Captain Nagata at the last minute blows both of them away, hit at the same time. You sunk hard, Jenga Jam, or whatever these ships are called, but good job.
Yeah.
Surprisingly susceptible to conventional weapons.
Yeah.
I thought these were missiles.
Conventional weapons.
Conventional weapons.
Yeah, missiles are conventional. So, like, not super space weapons. Like,
Yeah, they didn't-
again, hey, let's send a small, I guess, invasion force. Let's make it so that they can be damaged by explosions and tiny satellites.
Yeah.
None of it makes any sense.
Or their driver's ed like Jackie has. Why send the big guns if it's just driver's ed? Those kids are going to crash those boats anyways. So
Yeah, they needed to come up with a way that they removed the aliens' advantage somehow, some kind of clever way. That's what the script needed was. Oh no, we can't harm them, and then they do a thing, and now we can.
which kind of happens in the very next scene because one of the other ships is coming, and it's moving around too erratically. They can't get a good shot on it, and at one point it's divulged that this guy, the kid that plays the evil guy in the last season of Breaking Bad, I have no idea what this actor's name is, but he kind of looks like the little wooden puppet bully from Pee-wee's Playhouse. It's very
Oh, the farm boy, red-haired kid?
Yeah. And he says, one time I had a lizard, and let me tell you, it didn't like sun, which is, wait, have you ever read anything about reptiles? Ever? Because I'm pretty sure they like the sun, like, a lot. But,
that one didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took it to the beach.
I hate the sun. It's warm, and I need it to survive, but screw the sun. But anyways, he's like, so I think that these lizard-looking, like, alien guys probably aren't going to like sun, too. It's a stretch, I know, but it's all I got. Okay. John Carter runs with it. He's like, lead him to shore, this incoming boat. I've got a plan.
He's leading him towards the sunrise, dude.
Right, which is where the sunrise is happening at. Which requires him and Captain Nagata to get on some 50 cals on the front end, blast open the windshield of the bridge, and I guess the aliens now can't see because the sun's so bright.
And it's also super bestie time. This is when the bro stock market opened between these two guys.
Bye.
So I guess they can't
Nagata-
defend themselves.
Yo, I think you're missing a great
Okay,
bro
go
stock
ahead.
moment here.
Yeah.
Nagata won the National Sniper Academy Best Dude in the World at the age of 12.
Ooh. Okay. Which I guess doesn't really matter because Dum Dum can shoot just as good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I guess it works.
Whatever. It
And
was impressive to me.
They torpedo them because they can't see, and they explode that ship too.
Sure.
So, way to go. But unfortunately, the tower has launched one of the rollerballs at the John Paul Jones, and it pretty much just tears it in pieces.
Yep.
They're down. They're down. They're no shipped Navy out of ships.
Yeah, that's a technical term.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
all of
what
our
they call
destroyers have been destroyed. What do we do?
Status report: we're at no ships.
No ships out of ships.
Get the president on the line.
Oh, brother, somebody's going to be kissing the donkey.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
It's Hawaiian slang's weird stuff. I'll be real honest with you.
Kissing the donkey.
No idea.
No clue. Joe, could you catch that?
I don't know. Just Google it. That's all I do.
Yeah.
Oh my God. According to Urban Dictionary, a donkey kiss is the compassionate act of issuing a donkey punch to one's partner in a manner whereby said partner suffers from insomnia or some other form of sleep abnormality.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound nice.
Oh boy.
No.
So you have to go to get this reference in a family board game movie.
Well, I don't think that he's
I don't
referencing
think-
that
I
at
don't think
all.
That's it. No.
Okay, all right. Well, I was going to say having to go to the Urban Dictionary to get a line in this movie.
That was terrible, yeah.
Yeah. But that's good information for our listeners if anybody wants to know, what a donkey kiss is and how to perform it. Make sure you ask your partner first before you do it and have a safe word.
They're going to say no.
Okay.
Yeah. But, that's why we have Joe on this episode, because he is the Onlightened person. So he actually looked it up.
Oh, I thought you were going to, diss Joe about, his weird, freaky, deaky sex life or something.
It's not,
How do you know about Joe's sex life?
No reason.
Did I leave
Don't
that
tell
webcam
her a word,
on?
Joe.
Why are you guys besties on Skype?
Just stop talking, Joe. We'll move on this movie real fast. So the ship sunk, and they abandoned ship, and there's a shot where stupid John Carter and Captain Nagata have Spider-Man abilities all of a sudden.
Well, they can
What?
walk up vertical walls.
That sucks.
But then right after that, they jump into certain death and survive.
Right, yeah. Oish.
Yeah, that
really
was their Titanic love moment, too. Crawling up
Yeah.
together.
I like how one of the propellers broke off so that, it was somewhat of a safe jump.
It doesn't seem very
Doesn't
safe.
seem very safe, man.
Everything was on fire and really rusty metal.
And like
Pointy.
two shots before, they were standing on the side deck with everybody else.
Could have just jumped off then.
Yeah.
We-
Yeah, it's. I guess it's like instead of jumping up the side, they're running up the top. This is the opposite problem of Prometheus, where they're running away from that falling ship straight away instead of running sideways.
right. So they're out of ships, or are they? We still got one ship in this Navy.
We're out of ships. Wait, what's the name of this movie?
Oh, yeah, we should get a battleship.
Mm-hmm.
The USS Missouri, which is completely not possible. This thing does not run. Its guns have been deactivated, or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
They cap them.
There's going to be no munitions on this thing, other than like a couple display rounds in the museum. It's probably dry docked,
Yes, the engines have been seized.
but they're going to use it.
And this is where you're having hang-ups.
Yeah, right. Good point. Touche.
My hang up is that you get to see them show up to demothball them at 1 hour 39 minutes into this movie. Called Battleship. The movie is called Battleship, and they're an hour and 39 minutes in, finally standing on the deck of a battleship.
But who's going to drive this old thing? This is my favorite part of this whole movie.
Oh, yeah. No, this is
Absolutely.
ridiculous.
It is bananas.
When they're listing all the things that are wrong and they don't know how to do it.
Where are we going to find an elite team of former Navy guys who have experience to help us defeat the aliens? I can think of a place.
We're all standing around us in dude shots.
They're broing out. They're
Yeah.
posing, all these old guys. It is awesome.
My favorite is the sailor with the wide leg pants and the mustache. Mustache sailor guy.
Yeah.
He
Wilford
was my
Brimley.
favorite one.
Yeah.
He's a very svelte version of Wilford Brimley.
Those aliens are about to get diabetes.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's War of the Worlds. We just killed them with sugar.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you aliens want some pixie sticks?
They're on the ropes. Give them the ho-hos.
So everything works out perfectly. The engines fire up great because these old guys haven't forgotten a thing on how to do anything, even though it's been 60 years since they've last done their jobs on this ship. But and nothing's rusted. Everything just zoo. They've got a full-on battleship, fully staffed and fully ammunitioned, ready to go.
And they're playing Thunderstruck in the background. So you know that it's kick-ass time.
It is time to kick
Nothing
some ass.
says American kick-ass like an Australian rock band.
Yeah, right. Wait, what?
Yeah, these guys were so amateur, but also I loved them as well, right? I'm
I love
not
the
even
old
an
guys.
American. I don't have that patriotism. It doesn't really get my heart stirring, oh, these guys represented us, because he didn't really represent me or anything. But it's still great to see some old guys who get to have some lines and get to kind of be cool little heroes in this. Yeah,
Right.
really great.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't praise them for the patriotism. I just like silly old people in movies.
And they're not even silly.
I
They
don't-
all get to be super like efficient, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not silly. I'm with Joe.
Oh,
They're
I think it's real silly.
they are badasses, Justin, in this movie.
I think it's pretty silly, Jackie.
I think I think that they are badasses.
I think what they're doing is silly. The whole bringing the Missouri out of mothballs is ridiculous, but I love the guys. Yeah.
And there's one guy that his delivery of his line. It's his only line, and I can't even remember what the setup is. It's like, we're gonna go blow the hell out of these aliens, and the old guy goes, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. Oh. He's the guy that says, "Oh, brother, somebody's going to be kissing a donkey." He says
Yeah,
it later.
right,
Oh,
right.
does
He's
he?
the actual Hawaiian guy, yeah.
Holy shit. So they find this big shield generator, which isn't actually a shield generator tower thing at all. It's like a big ship. It's like the mother ship kind
Sure.
of deal. But it's shaped the exact same as the other, so I don't really know. And they're like, well, how are we going to beat it? Oh, Art of War, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be where it can't shoot them or something.
Yeah.
So they try to get all around the side where the guns can't point, and the ship, the alien ship is churning, and he's like, drop the anchor, which causes them to do like a skid stop in a car.
It's the equivalent of doing a wheelie on a bicycle.
Yeah.
They did a wheelie in a battleship, and then they took a big dump on the enemy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah!
It's and like this is like at the beginning of the movie they gave us the Chekhov's gun of battleships are big and can take hits. That's their job. And then the first thing they do to win the fight is they dodge.
And then blow the thing
Right.
to hell.
Yeah,
They just
like the battleship
shoot all the guns and blow it up.
It does the opposite of what they say a battleship does. He's like,
Correct.
destroyers dish it out. Battleships are tough. And instead, their battleship doesn't take hits. It does a special tactic to dodge it, and then it dishes it out. You got
Right.
Chekhov's gun backwards in this movie.
And it's like no challenge at all. Their guns destroy this mothership thing. No shields that they gotta wear down or like it's shooting our rounds out of the sky. What do we do? Oh, we gotta be clever. They just shoot it and it explodes.
Justin, they had to move the movie along because Country Kitchen Buffet was going to be closing by 5.
That is correct. Yeah, the old guy's got to get back to the home before it gets dark.
We're here to kick some ass, but we need to leave at 4:30.
Bingo starts at 6.
Mm-hmm.
That's so mean,
It is.
but totally true.
Not really.
What? That old people don't like bingo? I'm pretty sure old people like bingo, Sam.
I like bingo.
Yeah,
Me
exactly.
too.
Well, you're getting up there.
I'm
Which causes the shield to drop out. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I'm,
Sorry.
I'm kind of okay with of all the weapons they've used being effective, a battleship's broadside's full gun attack, like taking out like aliens, because those are some of the biggest, most powerful guns on this planet. So
Right.
I'm
Right.
kind of okay with that, especially since we've seen that they're not exactly very tough alien ships.
Nope.
And I kind of liked that overhead view of the ship skidding and coming into that broadsides. And it was like the first instance of the characters actually learning, oh, if we don't look like a threat, they don't attack us, kind of.
Correct.
So they kind
Right.
of did this fake, we're not a threat, and then skid, oh, yes, we are.
Surprise.
I kind of liked they finally did a semi-smart thing, even though it was really, really dumb.
Yeah, it's awesome though.
Sure. Yeah. It was good and bad. Yeah. It was ridiculous. And if the rest of the movie was okay, I probably would have been like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it causes the shield to drop out like all alien systems do. You know, the whole thing is kaputzed. And that means the other guys can get in. And
Liam Neeson orders a full attack.
yeah, full attack. And now back on the island, the alien islands have gotten the signal out. They're sending out their laser, their death ray into space. They haven't hit the satellite yet, but it's getting close. Until Brooklyn Decker does the most awesome fucking thing of all time. She jumps a Jeep 30 feet in the air and then rams right into the shield jitter or the laser signal thing. It's awesome.
It is.
Totally boss.
And then, well, what do we need now? Comic relief. How are we going to get this shell all the way to the other side of the boat to shoot the... Bleh. Bleh.
Yeah, they've got a shell. The Missouri has to destroy the top of the mountain so that they can cack the signal, and they can't get the message out. So they bring the biggest shell out that weighs 1,000 pounds, and it's a bunch of old guys carrying.
Everybody's carrying it together.
Everybody. Yeah.
You have to do your joke from the...
Wait, well, it's not a joke, but seriously, what would happen is the front guy would catch his foot, trip, causing the guy behind him to trip over him, and they both get crushed to death. Everybody gets crushed by this thing.
The two guys in the back only lose a leg out of the deal.
I mean, if the front guy trips, it's all over.
Yeah.
You need a cart. There's not a cart on this boat.
No, there's not a cart.
All right, so they get it over there and they load it up, and the science guy comes up to Brooklyn Decker, or Nick is fighting one of the aliens in hand-to-hand combat,
Yes.
and holding his own pretty good.
He's kicking some alien ass.
But the science guy needs to help. He clocks him with a suitcase or something.
Yeah, it was a nice a redemption of the coward there, because he had refused to help, and I like that he came back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he delivers a silly, silly line when he jumps in and starts prying her leg free. He's like, "I'm here to friggin' save you."
Oh,
I like-
Glavin.
I like that the amputee chokes out the alien with his amputee leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Is that possible, do you think?
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, probably better than any of our legs, because our legs would hurt, like, when we're squeezing on that. But he's just, got a
Yeah, that's a good
bunch
point.
of metal.
It's more machine now than
yeah,
man.
yeah.
There's advantages. Well, the aliens have gotten the signal up. The clock is ticking. The tower has shot out at the last second one of the roller balls that's coming straight for the Missouri, so they don't have enough rounds to blow it up and the mountain. It's been an honor serving with you, sir. We're taking the mountain out. And so they shoot at the mountain, but just in the nick of time, guess who shows up to kill the rollerball? Goddamn Air Force.
Yep, it's the same ending from Return of the King.
Yeah.
Oh.
Except for they're not ghosts, but okay.
They're not eagles, they're flying penises.
Or, yeah, eagles, yeah. Okay.
I think they're F-18 Hornets
jets.
is what are showing up.
Oh. I always, because of Top Gun, I confuse any jet with a flying penis.
Which, yeah, they kill the rollerball. Liam Neeson's arrived at the nick of time.
That's right.
The mountain gets exploded.
Don't worry, white guy savior. We're going to make it so your sacrifice was meaningless. You didn't have to make that choice because we saved you.
Right. Well, you got to have the romantic ending at the end, Joe.
Yeah, with him and Nagata.
Yeah.
Right. There's a big awards ceremony. Everybody gets a medal for saving the planet, sort of. And Stone's like, or Hopper's like, all right, I'm gonna ask Liam Neeson for Brooklyn Decker's hand in marriage, and Liam Neeson's like, nope, not a chance, buddy. But you can buy me a chicken burrito.
Bump.
Movie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. These scenes, we didn't need these scenes.
No, we didn't. All right, who wants to go first on questions? Sammy?
Why wasn't there a sequel?
No, I just, Well, I guess there is. It's called Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Maybe, or Candyland, I guess. I don't know.
Joe.
So this is questions about to the movie, like about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the heck were the aliens trying to do? Like, why did they come? Why were they so bad? Is my big question. Like, we got nothing.
The alien motivation question?
Yeah.
That's a real tough one.
Well, the only thing we've got is it's driver's ed, which is sound. Is there a better theory?
This is the C Squad, where they're like, well, if we lose these dudes, they can't drive anyway, so fuck it.
I mean, I guess, like, the movie is trying to tell us that they're a recon team, maybe? Like, hey, we got this signal from another planet. Let's go there.
There's a good chance they were just going to ask to use the satellite when they broke their own shit. But once we started shooting, they just took it.
That's my whole thing, is that this whole movie is just a giant misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Because humans are idiots, is what this film is telling us.
All right, so I do have a theory about what happened. And I think it would pull it all together, and I kind of wish the movie had done this, although it would also make us even sillier. So we sent off this, they pushed big how this was a powerful communications device. And like, I thought when that happened, when they said that, I'm like, so what? Like, that doesn't make it go faster than the speed of light. This system is 6 light years away, so it's going to take 6 years to get there to say hi, so they can hear our radio waves anyway. But here's,
and the movie tells us that it takes that long.
Yeah, but they arrive way faster than 12 years or even the 6 years that they would get to receive it, which to me means, here's the thing, they were already on the way. They were like, hey, let's go check out that planet and go say hi. And then we pointed a really powerful communications device right at their fleet heading towards us, just as they were about to arrive, and we blasted the hell out of all of their technology with that, just not even knowing that we sent an EMP blast through their ships when they weren't even ready. And they just went, oh crap, we've lost all of our control. We're going to crash into that planet we were going to say hi to. Oh shit, our communications ship just hit one of their satellites and now is falling somewhere else. This is crap. What is up with these horrible aliens? Let's set up our shields and try and communicate back to home and get some help. So don't kill any of them that don't try to attack us. So that, like,
don't start a war.
Yeah, don't start a war.
That.
And so we're the bad guys, like, the whole way through. Really, they're just showing up to say hello. We accidentally shoot them, and then they're just trying to, like, protect themselves and get some help, and we keep shooting them.
Or get back home.
Yeah.
They're Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
They're trapped.
Yes.
That's an excellent, I think that's as good as it gets right there.
But it really does make all of those military guys sort of bad guys. They don't know it. They're kind of doing right with the information they have, sort of, except as we've discussed, they're not. This is not how you do first contact protocol.
Right. So, no, I think that's outstanding that we crash landed them.
Yeah, thanks.
Eesh. Jackie?
What happened to all the old guys? Like, they saved the day, and then what? We just told them, well, okay, you go back to the retirement home now. Here's a free gift certificate for Country Kitchen Buffet.
They're not at the award ceremony,
Yeah,
are they?
they don't get recognized. They're not there.
Oh my God, they're the Chewbacca of this show.
Yeah, no kidding.
Except at least Chewbacca get to stand up there. Like, they don't even
Right.
get to be there.
Yeah, at least C-3PO got a polish.
Yeah.
Whoosh. So is Rihanna the C-3PO of this movie then?
She's sassy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess that would make her the R2-D2 then.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Does this end or start an intergalactic war?
I think they send out like another group of people are like, well, we haven't heard back from Frank yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe something happened to him. Maybe we should go check it out.
In any theory, if they're a recon team, if they're the communications team like the ambassador team, or if they're children coming to a planet to learn how to drive, somebody's going to be like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them that are still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the whole you've got to destroy the communications device so that they can't communicate back thing. I was like, okay, maybe you don't. That's true. You don't want them to, but it's still not going to solve much of
I think
anything.
they're sending the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that scenario in a cop movie where two cops like, we got a 505 over. We're gonna go into this house on Elm Street and check it out, and then they get murdered inside, and nobody ever comes and's like, where'd those guys go?
Yeah.
And checks out the spooky house. Those cops just disappear for the rest of the movie. So, yeah, no, they're sending everybody.
Yeah, we're doomed. But that's what they're setting up. There's the post credits scene.
Oh.
We didn't watch that.
There's a post-credits. I've
There's
watched
a
this 3
post
times.
credit
Oh, no.
scene.
Oh. Joe, what happens in the post-credit
So the
scene?
post-credit scene happens in the Northern Highlands in Scotland. And it's a couple of Scottish school kids heading back, and they find some kind of weird crashed little alien thing on the ground. They don't know that. And they're like, this is weird. And they start poking it with things. And then some weird junk scavenger character that we've never seen before, but who's obviously some kind of character actor shows up and cuts it open with a torch. And one of those 4-fingered alien hands comes out and grabs him in the face. Smash cut to black.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Yeah.
There was a sequel planned.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Those
There's a
poor,
whole universe planned with
those
hippos and action.
poor
man.
idiots. Those poor idiots in ties. What are they doing down there?
They're just desperately trying to make money in a thing where they've been successful, but they still don't understand.
Oh, jeez. That's just horrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
It has
I have
nothing to
a-
do with any of the rest of the movie except that it's got like the alien coming out. Like the color of the thing that's crashed isn't even the dark gray. It's kind of lighter colored than the rest of it. So
Huh.
I don't even know when they filmed it.
So my last question is more or less it's a 2-parter, and it's directed for you because you're Canadian, Joe.
Okay.
Do you claim or disown Tayler Kitsch of Canada for this film?
Oh man, is he Canadian?
Yes.
So here's my thing. There's good and bad in every single walk of life. Like that's the thing. There's good and bad Canadians. There's good and bad Americans. There's good and bad Russians. There's good and bad Muslims. Like it doesn't matter. I don't care what you are of that kind of thing. I just care that you're good. And I don't know. Maybe Taylor's a good guy, but he's not good in this.
No. Nope. No, and we don't want him after this. If that's his performance. Now, I will say, in his defense, I think John Carter of Mars is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I love that movie. So
the second part of the question is, since you've now this is your second movie,
Okay.
And your last dude hero was Dudikoff. You've got Kish versus Dudikoff. Who do you take?
I'll take Dudikoff. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Because
any day of the week.
at least Dudikoff was like just full on doing James Dean and like embracing it. And the douche bro that Kish was playing, just I hated him. I hated him.
Oh, he sucks. His character sucks so bad.
It was just like white guy privilege constantly. Like if he was any other guy, he would not have been forgiven and given so many chances. And it's like,
Right.
you're charming and you look good and you're of the race that we expect to be the hero. So come on, just learn to be better. And meanwhile, there's Rihanna going, why am I not being promoted? I haven't made a mistake.
I'm the one that's killing these guys.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Just quietly not causing problems. And yet, I'm a petty officer, I think she is. Like, yeah,
I think so,
garbage.
yeah.
I hate his character. I hate what it represents. I'm glad that I hate him for that. Whereas Dudikoff was fine. He was just kind of a cocky jerk, which wasn't exactly the same.
And he does get in trouble.
Yeah.
In American Ninja.
Constantly.
Yeah, constantly gets called for
He
his
can't
garbage.
catch a break.
Right. For being an idiot.
Yeah, great point. Yeah.
And Steve James is high up.
Yeah.
Like he outranks him, I think.
Oh yeah, he's the sergeant.
Yeah, so there you go. Any other questions, guys?
Not about the movie.
Okay. You just want to ask Joe Canadian stuff, don't you?
Yes.
That's fine.
Oh, Jackie. That's so weird.
okay.
Let's talk about Putin.
Poutine.
Poutine.
Oh, poutine. Yeah.
What is it?
Well, so poutine is really just French fries with cheese curds and gravy on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what it is at its base, but like it's really become a thing in the last, I think, 10 years up here, where now there's all sorts of different kinds of poutine. Like you can get like pulled pork poutine. So that would be all of those things plus some pulled pork on it. Basically, all the restaurants are starting to sell all sorts of different poutines now. It's great. I mean, what's wrong with French fries, gravy, and cheese? That's great. It's just it sounds fancier because it's got the French name.
Sam, do you want to tell Joe about your breakfast this morning?
Well, it's not really poutine, but it was French fries with chicken fried steak and gravy and eggs over the top.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just only missing the cheese curd.
They would they would put some cheese on that and call that breakfast poutine probably.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
Oh my God, I'm so excited. We need to go to Canada.
Jackie, you can just make poutine.
No,
Sam and I have made poutine like 10 times.
no, I want Canadian poutine.
It's awesome. It is the finest food that's ever been known to by man.
it's pretty great stuff. I mean,
It's awesome.
You can't
I
go
love
wrong
it.
with all those ingredients, really, in my
You
mind.
can't eat it very often, otherwise
No.
you're going to die at the
Yeah.
age of like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it's an artery clogger for sure. But
I just eat less. That's what I do.
hey,
You can eat little bits of bad stuff. Poison's in the dose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So
Do you have a Mountie?
Oh, geez.
Have you ever met a Mountie?
As a matter of fact, RCMP taught me how to drive. My mom was a receptionist for the RCMP in Chilliwack, British Columbia here. So I grew up around cops, yeah.
Oh, cool. Do they still wear those red uniforms?
Those are the
like Dudley Do Right?
They do. Those are their dress uniforms, though. So they'd only wear those like if they're out to like look fancy at some kind of ceremony or officially riding a horse at some kind of big event or something like that. You'll see them.
If they're the Chewbacca of the film.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the series Due South?
Oh yeah, I know Due South. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
fun.
that was my favorite show when I was like 14 or something.
Oh, I'm
like
glad.
that.
That's a Canadian production. So good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They
Constable Benton Fraser.
Yeah, he's good. He's been in a few other things up here. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's quite good. Yeah, Due South is good. We've got a lot of animation studios up here now, so I think a lot of the animation you'd watch is made up here.
We just got the RoboCop and the what was the other
Total Recall.
Total Recall series on Amazon down here for the first time, like just this year. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, and Man in the High Castle is shot up here actually because that's the
Oh, is it?
that's
Oh, really?
the film I was doing the extra work on.
Oh, cool.
I can't really talk about it because they don't want you to say anything, but I think I can
No.
say that I was on the East Coast, so you know what that means if you've watched The Man in the High Castle.
Oh, we're going to have to watch out for you now.
I'm just walking on a street. You probably can't see my face at all.
Whatever. Every guy with dark hair now that walks across the street will be like, that's Joe!
There's Joe's everywhere.
Look in,
I know that
look in the
guy.
first episode of season 3 that'll be coming out. I think August or September or something like that. I'm not sure when it's going to hit Amazon Prime.
Joe Fulgham cameo.
No.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Man on Street by Joe Fulgham.
One of 80
All
people
right,
on
we
the
have to
street.
talk about we have to talk about the final recommendations for this film.
Okay.
Let's start with the guests this time. Joe, are you going to give this a do or a don't?
I have to say I don't, actually. Yeah. I think overall this movie is just way too long and tedious, and the few good bits in it are not worth the just mountain of garbage.
Yeah, it's tough. I'll be honest. Like I have to give this a do.
Okay.
Because the last half is so bananas that, and as a concept of a film, it's a piece of film history. Like, this is a very big model of how not to spend $200 million.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The first 50 minutes sucks so bad.
Yeah.
But after that, I have such a good time with this movie, especially as soon as the old guys come out and they're on the chain guns and their jiggly, flabby arms are flapping in the wind, and it's hilarious, and I love them, and they're cute, and they're tough, strong, goddamn American heroes, or whatever.
Any of those guys would punch you right in the nuts.
Right.
You'd go down.
I like them because they're silly old guys.
Yeah.
It's a chain of terrible decisions in this film that I think makes it a fun time. But at the same time, if you give me a star rating for it, it's barely above 5, which is tough.
It starts with the conceptual nightmare of let's make a movie based on a board game that doesn't have a story.
Right.
What did you say last night? When I was 8 years old, I would get bored with this within the first 15 minutes. What made them think I would watch a movie for 2 hours?
2 hours and 11 minutes.
Isn't that what you said last night?
Yeah, so I wondered that how did the board game that we all got tired of when we were 8 not become a blockbuster at the box office? Still a mystery to this day.
Sam, Jackie?
I think it's still a do. I'm going to say, though, like, if you've seen it again, I'm starting to get kind of tired of it on the revisits because this is 3 times through for me.
Yeah.
I might be done with Battleship.
I might be done, too.
But for those that are really reveling in the bad film, this is just significant because of its extraordinarily bad idea and its large cost. So if you hadn't seen it, I would give it a do, I think.
But be prepared.
Yeah, for an hour and a half of just a guy being a douche.
Jackie?
So I say fast forward to the old guys and just watch that part. But for the most part, I'm kind of with Joe. I'm going to give it a don't.
Okay.
Mostly because I hated Transformers, so I hated the aliens. I hated all of the water skipper, unable to drive their own ships bullcrap. And then those weird ball things that came out of nowhere and destroyed things for convenience.
For special effects purposes.
Right. That Hollywood blowjob kind of shit that they threw into this movie just ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a hung jury, folks.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't blame anybody who enjoys it because, like I said, I think that there are parts of it that if that's the kind of thing you enjoy, you might enjoy it enough that you enjoy the movie overall. But I certainly didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
Like, I'm with Justin. I loved the old guy stuff. And that was it.
Yeah, well, that's about the best we can do on that one. So now our next pick is going to be Sam's. You got something lined up, Sam?
Okay, so it's possible. I'm not solid. I'm trying to find it. Speed Zone.
Speed Zone.
It's a copy or a knockoff of Cannonball Run, and it's got a load of B-listers, including
Cannonball.
About half the cast of the original SCTV.
I've got good news. It stars John Candy. And I have a copy.
Excellent. So Speed Zone it is.
Like mid-'80s, I believe.
Yes, it's got Brooke Shields. It's got everybody that was not an A-lister, pretty much. And it was also a listener request.
Which is, if it's SCTV, would that make it a Canadian film production?
I don't know if it is.
Joe, are you familiar with Speed Zone?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a bunch of SCTV alumni. I'm not familiar with it, but I've got the Wikipedia page up right now. It's got John Candy, Eugene Levy, Joe Flaherty in it. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Sam. That's a good choice. So check us out next week. Now, Joe, again, I want you to tell everybody where they can find you and all of your goodness.
Well, probably.
Yeah, your address, and then leave your windows open
And
so that we can start taking snapshots and selfies outside when it's dark.
This guy was in a movie, and I caught him in his underwear.
Are we gonna have that consent talk again? So probably the best place to find the podcast that I do is moteofdust.com, M-O-T of dust.com. That's my Carl Sagan reference, and it's also what I'm basically calling my podcast network. It's the place where I'm going to post all my podcasts links from. The Dreaming is at thedreaming.moteofdust.com, and Onlightened is at onlightened.com, and you can find them both on iTunes and Google Play Music and probably all those other places that list all the podcasts that they can find.
And you want to plug your personal Twitter as well?
Yeah, at Joe Fulgham, JoeFulgham.
I follow Joe. I like all of the things that he posts. It's all very societal and political based, and I like it. So
I just want to say thanks for classing up the joint today, Joe.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a shit shack usually.
Yeah,
man.
and obviously we don't look up anything on the Google, so it was nice to have a fact checker.
a guy with a keyboard.
Because we call it the Google.
I think this may be the first time in my life I've ever classed anywhere up.
Joe, you know how we end the show. You want to give us your best get to the chopper?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Get to the chopper.
I like it.
Oh, that was good.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.